I'm not here for you, I'm here for me. Leave us. Well, there's that tone. You're mad at me. I can't say that I blame you. It was a rotten trick. I didn't plan to do anything. One minute, everything was going great. I was even beginning to feel close to you. And then this impulse came over me. I tried to walk it off. Shut up. Talk about me.
I don't know. That sounds a little frightening to me.
Really? I think it's great. Phobia man, charged with the job of re-chiseling a new face for Frank Smith. Well, honey, no, really, no. Wrap your mind around this for a minute. Just relish the potential for disaster here. It is good, isn't it?
Well, yes, if this Dr. Gary is really as neurotic as you say.
Oh, baby, you name it. He is freaked out by it. Heights, cars, enclosed areas, dogs.
It's a red-letter day. Foster smiled at you.
Yeah. Well, he's always found me amusing. We've just been sort of working on the respect quotient.
What did you do?
I waved a T-bone steak in his face.
Oh, how imaginative of you.
It was bribery, you know. Don't knock it. It worked.
Foster, you're a cheap date.
He is. Well, you have a productive day, sweetheart.
Yes, you too. What's on the agenda today?
Well, I'm gonna go nose around and find out what I can find out about Dr. Gary. I think there's something really juicy in his background.
Good luck.
I don't need luck. I have you.
What are you trying to do? Wake up the dead? Some people like to sleep.
I'm sorry, but the situation I found myself in is more than I bargained for. I'm a doctor and I'm used to pressure, but this situation is unbearable. And I want out immediately.
I think you got the wrong place.
I'm looking for Commissioner Donnelly.
Well, he's here, but he's asleep. Who are you?
Please accept my apologies, but I really must speak with him. You'll just have to disturb him on my behalf. And that's all there is to it.
We alone?
For the moment.
Just ran into our friend Damian Smith. I'll tell you, I'm a little worried about him.
Out of sorts, is he?
Yeah, it seems his stolen evidence has been, stolen.
How's he taking it?
Well, let's put it this way. If Damian hadn't based his entire act upon being the antithesis of his father, I think I'd have cement in my shoes by now. Muscle in his jaw, clenched so tight, I thought he was going to break a tooth. But, other than that, he was cool as a cucumber. Hey, you think he's a candidate for high blood pressure?
With any luck? So how did you handle it?
Just played dumb.
He must be furious. I don't think that Damian Smith likes being beaten at his own game.
No. This was definitely one for the highlight reel. Believe me, I love sticking it to him as much as you do. But I think this is time for a little reality check here. I mean, Dad, this guy's not just going to pick up his marbles and go home. He knows you murdered Ray. He's going to find a way to use this.
You know what infuriates me? He couldn't care less about that weasel, Ray Conway. He's certainly not morally offended about his death. The only thing that matters to Damien is that he gets enough votes to implement his proposals.
Oh, no, I agree with you, but I mean, ethical questions aside, this guy poses a major threat to us still.
Only if we let him be.
Now, what do you mean by that?
Well, I didn't knuckle under to him when he had possession of the evidence. I'm certainly not going to do it now.
Hey, you really are not intimidated by this guy, are you?
Bullies bring out the best in me.
What if he goes to the police? Then what?
Well, at least it'll be over.
I can't figure out whether you're being savvy here or just foolish, but I'll tell you what. It takes a lot of guts to hold your ground, and I admire you for it.
I would have had no chance at all if it weren't for you. You went to the mat for me, and I'll never forget it.
It was the right thing to do.
Which brings us to a little bit of unfinished business, right?
Yeah.
Thank you.
It was my pleasure. Listen, I'm going to go get this back to the hotel before anyone misses it.
Hey, what did you do with the evidence?
Don't worry, it's safe.
Safe? Safe means to me that it no longer exists. Did you destroy it?
No.
Well, I must tell you, that hardly reassures me. Give me the evidence. I'll take care of it.
Dad, I said I'll take care of it. I will.
Wait a minute, wait a minute. What kind of game is this?
There's no game. This one's on me. Look, the less you know about this evidence, the better it's going to be for all of us.
I just paid a substantial amount of money for some evidence. Now I expect to receive what I paid for.
You still don't trust me, do you?
This has nothing to do with trust. It has to do with common sense. I mean, you're walking around with stuff that could annihilate this entire family. You paid somebody to steal the evidence. What makes you think that they won't steal it from you?
Me, that's what.
Oh, I see. You want a little something of your own to hold over me. AJ, let me tell you something. I won't let you blackmail me either.
It's a good shot, Dad. And it's so well aimed, too. Why is it, no matter what route we take, we always wind up right here?
Hello, Grandfather. You have a minute?
Well, I'm a little busy right now.
It can't wait.
Well, why bother to ask me if I've got time?
Good point.
What is it?
I received a rather frazzled phone call from Ms. Hawthorne this morning. It seems the hotel account is short to the tune of $100,000.
What? How could that be?
My question exactly. Poor Mrs. Hawthorne. She has had one dreadful morning. I really think you should give her the afternoon off.
I don't know who Miss Hawthorne is, Ned. Will you get to the point?
Yes, to the point. So, in answer to my question, how could this happen, she further informs me that 3 days ago, AJ wrote a check to cash in the amount of, I'll bet you can guess.
Well, now, obviously, your Miss Hawthorne has made an error. You have her check her math.
No, she did. Like I always said, AJ can't be trusted. I would file this under stupid criminal tricks. It's amazing, really. It's amazing that AJ remembers how to put the pants on in the morning.
Oh, this is outrageous. Now, certainly, AJ has certain check cashing privileges, but $100,000? What conceivable reason?
I'm curious about that myself. Shall I get him over here?
On the double. That young man has some explaining to do.
How can you ask me that? All right, fine, you're mad. Does not give you the right to push me around. That's almost funny coming from you. And I'm showing admirable restraint. What does that mean? You want to hit me? Go ahead, hit me. See if it makes you feel any better. Just how many nights did you fall asleep laughing at me, Ryan? It wasn't like that. I wasn't laughing at you. It could have been anyone. Thank you for that. Do we have to go through this? Hasn't it been enough? Maybe for you. There's something I still have to say to you, and you are going to listen. Well, obviously I can't stop you. Before I came here, I had a life. A good one. One that I built painstakingly over the years. A piece here, a piece there. All to my admittedly exacting specifications. Some people may have called it regimented. Even unimaginative. But that's how I designed it, and that's how I liked it. And then one ordinary day, I read about you. You see, Ryan, I don't have a problem with selective memory. Mine works just fine. And I never forgot you. I wondered about you. I missed you. I even speculated on how we would have been together had we not been separated. Do you want to know what it was like when I read that article? I had a physical reaction to it. A sharp pain went through my middle as if a knife had just sliced through me. I knew that I had to come to you. So I did. I walked away from the life that I built and the life that I loved to help you regain yours. And this is what you do to me. Sorry. So what? You're sorry for everything. Sorry is not a word you attach any meaning to, so why don't you just keep it? I don't understand what to do when people don't accept my apologies. I can't change anything. What else am I supposed to say? What did you think, Ryan? That you could betray me so thoroughly and fundamentally, and then apologize it away with no consequences? You've destroyed something here. It's gone. And you can't have it back again. What? In your whole miserable life, there's only been one person who looked at you and didn't see a cold-blooded killer. I saw a charming little boy. It was bright. Funny. It was worthy of compassion and understanding. And yes, love. I loved you, Ryan. Maybe I didn't sound it out, but it was there. And you should have recognized it, and you should have respected it. And instead, you murdered it. As viciously as you did our mother. Well, congratulations. If this was all a game to you, I guess you won. Excuse me, but where do you get off jumping self-righteous with me? If it was a game, I didn't play it alone, and you were damn good at it, too. What is that supposed to mean? Oh, come on, Kevin. It's just us here. Be honest. You knew those delusional episodes were just a crock. You just couldn't resist the game. You were easy because you were arrogant. I practically came right out and told you that I was planning to escape, and you were so sure that you couldn't be had that you chose to ignore what was right in front of you. So don't you dare put this all off on me. I don't mean to beat up on you. I'm just trying to make a point. We both made mistakes, Kevin. But blaming each other isn't going to get us anywhere. Just where do you think we could possibly go? The beginning. We can start over. What? You're always reminding me how connected we are, beyond brothers. Remember that? Not anymore. You can't do that. You can't just say something's eternal and then change the rules. You changed the rules when you made a fool out of me. Well, I guess we've come full circle, Ryan. You know, I don't have a brother. You don't mean that. I don't see why that should distress you. I should think it would make you happy. You're an island. I thought that's what you wanted. No. I didn't know you loved me. I wouldn't have tricked you if I had. How was I supposed to know? You might have paid attention. So I was self-absorbed. Hasn't that ever happened to you? It'll be different this time. There will be no this time. Don't say that! I'm not an evil person. I'll prove it to you if you give me one more chance. Try and stay with me on this ride. This stopped being about you when you knocked me out and stole my life in order to hurt people. This is about me now. And I'm walking out that door. You know, I've never trusted easily. Thanks to you, I don't think I'll ever trust anyone again. I hope that makes you happy. No! Please. Don't go. Please.
Kevin's with Ryan right now. I tried to talk him out of it. I mean, what's the point? But he didn't listen to me.
Well, he probably had a thing or two to say. He must be rattled about all this.
Stunned. Stunned is the only word for it. I don't think he realized what Ryan was capable of.
Of course he didn't. How could he? Look, I mean, he comes into town, he armed with a scientific theory and a superiority complex, thinking he's going to do a battle of wits with a diabolical sociopath. Chamberlain probably had him figured out in 5 minutes.
Don't be so hard on Kevin. I'm sure this isn't easy for him.
Yeah, I know. Look, as much as I hate to admit it, I do kind of feel sorry for him. Isn't it like Chamberlain hasn't duped every one of us? Boy, you are awfully pretty. Will you marry me?
When you get better. By the way, how are you?
You tell me.
Oh, I think there are signs of improvement.
Why don't you lock the door and I'll show you just how much better I really am.
Could we? No, we can't. I might hurt your arm.
It's a small risk. I'm willing to pay it.
No, no, no. If I can't have you 100%, I don't want you at all. We have our whole lives ahead of us. Manny says hi.
My mechanic? Where'd you see him?
I had to take my car into the shop this morning.
What's wrong with it?
Well, it was whining. It was something from the gas tank. I don't know.
It's probably your fuel pump. What'd it sound like?
This a whining sound like a... Is
that how you described it to Manny?
I really didn't have much of a choice because, you know, whenever you take it to the mechanic, it always goes silent. Why does that always happen?
It's one of life's practical jokes. How's Robin?
She's okay. Things got a little hairy for her.
Yeah, I know. She must have been petrified. You know, I worry about her. She acts so grown up, but she's only 16 and she's been through so much. It's just not right.
She said she was going to come and visit you today. Maybe you could reassure her.
And what about Maxie? How's she?
Oh, she's doing so great. She can just keep going no matter what. No matter what happens. It's amazing.
Well, we could all take a lesson.
Well, Kevin says the same thing. Anything I can do for you?
I already told you, but you turned me down.
I meant something practical.
Go for some magazines.
Oh, any preferences?
Oh, I like ones with informative articles and pictures. Big pictures.
Like Newsweek, Life.
Right, yeah. Don't be too long. We got a lot of wedding plans to make.
Oh, I'll be back so fast you won't even miss me.
Too late. I already do.
deny taking the money?
No, but I didn't steal it, and there's a difference. Here's a check for $100,000 plus interest.
Alan's personal check.
It's good, Ned.
I want you to tell me what's going on, A.J.
Please, Grandfather, let me take a stab at this. Junior here gets into a little bit of a scrape. So he sticks his grubby little paws in the cookie jar and then scrambles home to Daddy in order to bail him out. Isn't that just about right?
Stay out of this, Ned.
Sorry. But as you so fondly point out, we are partners. Which means I am an interested party.
And frankly, Ned's scenario is more plausible than what I've heard from you, which is nothing.
Oh, come on, Grandfather. Give me a little bit of credit here. I mean, if I was going to embezzle funds from the company, I think I'd be a hell of a lot smarter.
In a perfect world, AJ, in a perfect world, but it's not.
Look, the bottom line is that I had a temporary need for cash. I borrowed that cash from the hotel. I have since paid it back, in full, with interest. End of story.
But why so much money?
Grandfather, it's a personal matter.
Nice try. But you lose your right to privacy when you use hotel funds to finance what? Loan sharks? Gambling debts? A woman?
You know, Ned, you're not even close.
I'm warning you. I won't put up with your bringing outsiders into my company. I've had enough of that from Ned. Now, if you've been into gambling...
It's not gambling. Look, I'm sorry. I can't tell you anymore.
Well, I suppose I can't force it out of you. But you do well to remember one thing. Your job, your half of the hotel, your entire future with this company is on the line. And I will be watching you from this day on. Now, doing so does not please me. You understand that?
Perfectly.
Now get out of my sight. Not a word.
You can't leave yet. We haven't resolved anything. Some things aren't meant to be resolved, Ryan. They are what they are. Why are you being like this? I made a mistake. I'm asking you to forgive me. Why is that so impossible for you? I don't know why I'm amazed. But you really don't expect to be held accountable for your actions, do you? I'm not well. You, of all people, should know that. I don't know why I do the things I do. I don't enjoy my life the way it's turned out, but that's what happened. You said you wanted to help me. I'm ready now to accept it. I embrace it. It's too late. Don't say that! I don't want to be alone. We're both alone now, Ron. Maybe you can find some comfort in that. So it's all over now. There's nothing left to say. That's right. I truly am sorry. Will you take something with you? No strings attached. What is it? I don't really know what to call it. Advice? Maybe exoneration. Go on. Don't give this too much power. Do you understand what I mean? Don't let this be an excuse to cut yourself off from people. Don't be like me. This situation, it was never yours to control. There's nothing you could have done for me. I never would have allowed it. But hey, thanks for trying. Goodbye, Ryan. Kevin. Were you right?
all means, come on in.
I won't take up much of your time.
That's good, because I planned a very busy day.
I understand a few items are missing from your safe, and you're blaming AJ for it.
Items? Let's not use euphemisms, Alan. I had evidence that implicated you in a murder, and your son stole that evidence.
What are you planning to do?
Well, I haven't made up my mind yet, but when I do, you'll be the first to know. No, maybe the second.
Let me make a suggestion. And if you're as smart as I think you are, you'll take it.
What is it?
Let it go.
Now, why should I? See, I'm the injured party here.
Because if I go down, Damien, you're coming with me.
How? You gonna tell Sean that I stole the evidence out of the police headquarters? You go ahead. You can't prove it.
They also can't prove that I killed Ray without it. You know, Damien, I've been on this earth a few more years than you. Let me give you the benefit of my experience. Being under suspicion is not only inconvenient, it's downright embarrassing. You know, the press is always looking for news at 11, and then they start digging. And normally the first place that they go to is your family. And if they go to your family, they're going to find your father. And they're going to plaster his picture all over television for the entire world to see. And somehow I get the impression that is something you would like to avoid.
You make a good point.
I thought I might. Have a nice day. Irony. It's there in almost every situation. You take this, for example. You know, you didn't have to resort to blackmail. The proposals you made for ELQ, they were sound. They were forward-thinking. Monica and I, we were very impressed.
Enough to vote with me?
I guess you'll never know.
Beautiful plants for us.
Oh, yes, well, I think there's more plants to marry in the home. Here it is.
Oh, Tiffany, thank you.
Well, who is this?
He's the newest member of the Spencer family, Foster. This is Tiffany.
Foster Spencer. Oh, he's so friendly, baby.
Only to a select few.
Oh, look at what he can do. Isn't that great? Well, I just meant to take you home with me.
Yeah.
Oh, I think Lucky might have something to say about that.
Oh, I bet they're the best of friends, aren't they?
Oh, yeah. Now that Lucky's back in school, poor Foster doesn't know what to do with himself.
So Lucky's back in school, huh? How's that going?
Great. He's having a wonderful time. You know something? It really feels good to have a home and friends and a dog. And Sly's going to be staying with us for a while Jenny and Paul are out of town. So
Oh, Jenny
that's
and
an added
Paul.
treat.
I guess so. They finally made it on their honeymoon. Boy, that was fast, wasn't it? Well, at least something good came out of that day, though. I can't tell you how many lives that man has affected.
Oh, I know. You know, right before the wedding, the would-be wedding, Amy and I were trashing that Ryan guy, and he was sitting right in front of us.
Oh, that's so creepy.
I know.
Oh, what is he anyway? The Terminator? The man just keeps coming back. It's like nobody can hold him if there's nothing secured or safe to keep him in, you know?
Well, from what I hear, he should be out of commission for a very long time now.
Well, I certainly hope so. And I've got to talk about your stellar performance.
Me?
Yes, you grabbed those children out of that church in 2 whistles.
No, that's just a reflex.
Oh, well. I have to tell you the honest truth. I'm still a little shaken by the whole ordeal. I'm just very nervous and edgy, you know, about the... And I'm not sleeping. And I finally kind of passed out this morning to go to sleep, and then some lunatic comes to the door and starts banging it down.
What? Who did that?
I don't know, some doctor who said that his situation was untenable or something, and whatever he was in, he wanted out.
A doctor? Did he seem really nervous?
Oh, are you kidding? He was like jumping out of his skin.
What did he want?
Oh, he wanted Sean, who was still in the bed, by the way. And to be perfectly honest, you know, by the time I got up and got dressed, they were both gone, so I don't really know what they wanted. Anyway, Jenny and Paul finally got married. Well, now we just have to work on Mac and Felicia. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to get those 2 married if it is the last thing I do.
Come in.
Is this a bad time?
No, not at all.
How are you? Getting there. I'm glad to hear it. sorry about all this.
Don't apologize. It's not your fault.
That's not entirely true. I lost my objectivity, and in my profession, that's a cardinal sin.
So you're human. You'll get over it.
Is Ryan gone?
Yes.
You look like you're in a bad way. If there's anything we can do, please let us know.
I'll be fine. It wasn't easy saying goodbye. Facing my failure.
Do yourself a favor, Kevin. Don't take it on. Brother or not, he's not worth the grief.
I owe you an apology, Mac. You were right. And I couldn't have been more wrong. I guess it's just another example of my astonishing capacity for hubris. In any event, it's all over now. Ryan's out of all our lives.
And you can walk away? Just like that? Look, what I'm trying to say is, I mean, you took your relationship with him very seriously. Making a clean break is going to be more difficult than you think.
I appreciate your concern. But when I end something, it stays that way.
I give up. If I can't spell it, I can't look it up.
What?
Hubris? How do you spell it? Or better yet, just tell me, what the hell does it mean?
I'm sorry. It means excessive pride. Arrogance. Audacity.
You got the right word anyway.
So basically, Grandfather's furious with me. Ned's got ammunition. I'll tell you something else. Ned is not going to stop until he figures out what's going on.
Okay. We can't have that, can we?
Wait, what are you doing?
Calling your father. Hi, Carol. This is Monica. Could you put me through to Alan, please? Thank you. Hi. Listen, can you pay a visit to Edward? AJ has had a confrontation with him about the money, and he's managed to stonewall them for a while, but you know how Ned is when it comes to AJ. Okay. Thank you. Bye. Done.
Maybe. Maybe not.
Oh, I think your father's going to mollify Edward. Heavens, he's been doing it all his life. You know, you took a very big risk.
What was it going to do? Let some punk like Damian Smith strong-arm my father? Not do anything about it?
I'm proud of you. But $100,000, I mean, isn't that a lot of money for a safe glasses?
Yeah, well, it didn't exactly seem productive to haggle. I mean, you know, my knowledge of experienced safecrackers is a little bit limited. And the person I was dealing with, if he would have turned me down, I would have been back to square one, and I would have had nowhere to turn.
Maybe I missed my calling. Well, I mean, a surgeon has very, very sensitive
You're losing it.
hands. Well, I don't know. I mean, I gotta laugh, I guess. Otherwise, I think probably I would just cry. I know that Ray's death was an accident. I wish it didn't happen. It did. I can live with that. But this cover-up thing, I'm having a problem with. That was wrong. I mean, then you get in a situation with hiring somebody to steal the evidence from Damien. That's wrong. But on the other hand, I feel better about it because it lets Ellen off the hook. Which just leads me to wonder what kind of a message I'm sending to you.
I can tell you what I'm hearing.
I wish you would.
I'm hearing that things aren't always black and white. Life's more complicated than that. And you do what's necessary to take care of your own, and that ain't such a bad thing.
No, maybe it isn't.
Please don't tell me you're gonna let this drop. He stole from the hotel.
He borrowed it.
Did he bother to ask anyone if it was okay to sail off with $100 grand? And then he has the nerve to say that it's none of our business. Grandfather, if I had done something like this, you would have thrown me out in my ear.
I'm not thrilled by this, but what would you have me do? Beat it out of him?
Well, if that's what it takes, I can make a phone call.
I'll pretend I didn't hear that.
Enter the spin doctor right on cue.
I hope you're here with an answer, Alan.
I know why A.J. took the money, if that's what you mean.
It's exactly what we mean. Now, would you be good enough to share it with us?
No. The money has been repaid with interest, and I want it left at that.
With no further explanation?
The matter is between me and my son.
Well, wouldn't it be nice if it were that simple? But I'm afraid it's not. You see, AJ embezzled company funds, and that happens to be against the law.
Are you or are you not in possession of a check that makes this conversation moot?
Do you honestly think you're doing AJ any good by shielding him from the consequences of his actions?
You know, Ned, you're crossing into territory that's none of your business.
Now, stop it, both of you. All I want to know is whether AJ is in any kind of trouble that would have an adverse effect on ELQ.
No, he is not. How about a little family unity, huh? You know, Father, you've been preaching that your entire life. There isn't one member of this family, present company included, that hasn't asked for support, no questions asked at one time or another. Now, that is exactly what I'm doing now. I don't want another word said about this. Understood? Good. I think they heard me loud and clear. I also think you'll find out that that's the end of it.
What did I tell you?
I can't believe you stood up for me like that.
Considering what you did for me?
I get it. It's gratitude.
Wait a minute, did I say something wrong?
No, Dad, you said exactly what I should have expected.
I don't understand. What's happened here?
I think he was hoping for a more meaningful motivation than just repayment for a favor.
Hey, deal's a deal, right? Dad said he'd pay back the money for me, and he did. There's no reason for it to go any deeper than that.
AJ, wait, please. I'm sorry. If I gave you the wrong impression, I apologize. I know that we had a deal, but that's not the reason I took your side today. You're my son, and I'm not going to let you be held responsible for something that I did. I know the kind of risk that you took. And if I don't say it enough, AJ, I love you more than you'll ever know.
I love you too, Dad.
Sounds like Dr. Gary imploded.
Well, I think Sean probably knows everything by now.
Isn't that a shame? Frank's big escape. Compromised by this sniveling lackey. Plan a vacation, darling. This could be easier than we thought.
Oh.
Well, I won't take any more of your time. Thank you both for not saying I told you so.
Oh, we wouldn't do that.
I would.
Mac.
Look, you did your best. Sometimes that's all you can take with you.
Now what?
Now I concentrate on my own life. Mac, I hope your recovery is swift.
Hello? Yeah, sure. She's right here. It's for you.
For me? What's going on here? Hello, Felicia Jones speaking. What? Oh, my God, I'll be right there.
Felicia?
That was the nursery school. Maxie's sick.
What's wrong?
Oh, no, they said she had a fever. Well, I don't have my car. How am I going to get there?
I'll drive you.
Thank you. Oh,
Go, yeah, hurry.
I love you.
I love you, too. Try not to worry, you know. Kids get sick all the time.
Yeah, you're probably right. Okay, I'll see you.
Let's go.
And Charles Gibson tomorrow, the latest on chronic fatigue syndrome.
Also country star John Michael Montgomery and the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Plus Mardi Gras Polish style tomorrow on Good Morning America.